There is a kind of confidence you rarely see announced. It doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't seek permission. It doesn't wait for applause or perfect conditions or the right moment. It simply moves, quietly, precisely, without apology. This is not the confidence sold in motivational speeches. This is something older, something earned in the silent spaces between what you wanted to do and what you chose to do anyway. The Stoics called it self-mastery. We might call it dangerous calm, the comfortable cage. Here is a question worth sitting with. Why is it so easy to drift, to scroll, to postpone, to soften the edges of what you know must be done? And yet why does discipline, that quiet, unglamorous thing, feel like swimming upstream in your own life? The answer is not weakness. It is architecture. The mind is not broken. It is simply untrained. Left alone, it reaches for ease the way water finds the lowest ground. Not out of laziness, out of efficiency. The path of least resistance is written into our very design. The Stoics understood this. MarcusAurelius wrote from within an empire and still wrestled with the same pull toward comfort, toward avoidance, toward the warm gravity of inaction. He wrote not as a conqueror. He wrote as someone practicing. The obstacle, he said, is not outside you. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is not poetry. This is a surgical truth. Every moment the mind resists, every moment it whispers, not yet, not now, not like this, is not a signal to retreat. It is an invitation to discover what you are made of, forged in imperfection. Most people are waiting for the right energy, the right conditions, the right version of themselves to finally arrive before they begin. But here is what no one tells you. The right version of you is built in the wrong conditions. The walk taken when exhausted, the call made when uncertain, the page written when the mind is cloudy and the words feel like pulling stones. These are not failures of inspiration. They are the training ground. Epictetus, who was once enslaved and yet became one of the most free minds in all of history, said this: "We are not disturbed by events, but by the view we take of them." Every difficult moment is a question the universe asks you. Who are you when comfort is not available? Answer that question consistently, and something irreversible begins to happen. The mind stops panicking when plans fall apart. The body stops hesitating at the threshold of difficulty, because it has been there before, and it knows it survived. It grew. The hidden logic of old habits. Before you discard a habit, understand it. Every pattern in your life, even the ones you are ashamed of, was once solving a problem. The endless scrolling at midnight was quieting an anxious mind. The avoidance of a difficult conversation was protecting something tender inside you. The retreat into comfort was a form of self-preservation in a season when you needed it. The mind is not your enemy. It is a very loyal guardian of a very old wound. The Stoic practice is not to destroy these patterns with brute force. It is to understand them and then offer something better. Replace the escape with a ritual of presence. Replace the avoidance with a small, manageable act of courage. Replace the noise with 10 minutes of deliberate silence. Not because you are forcing yourself into someone new, but because you are choosing consciously, carefully, who you are becoming. Jung said it this way: "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Each replacement is a vote, cast quietly, in private, for the version of yourself you are still building. The mirror of reflection. Most effort fails not from lack of desire, but from lack of visibility. You cannot correct a path you cannot see. At the end of each day, not in judgment, but in honest curiosity, ask 3 questions. What moved forward today? What held me back? What would I do differently if this day were a first draft? These questions are not punishment. They are the most sophisticated tool available to the human mind. Attention turned inward. Marcus Aurelius did this every night, not because he was uncertain, because he understood that even the most disciplined mind drifts without examination. "Look well into thyself," he wrote. "There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." Reflection is not navel-gazing, it is navigation. The gap between who you are and who you intend to be is made visible only by looking. And what is made visible can be changed. Decide once. There is a particular exhaustion that has nothing to do with physical effort. It is the exhaustion of deciding. Every time you negotiate with yourself, should I do this now or later? Should I make this call or not? Should I begin or wait? You spend currency. Your mind cannot afford to waste. The antidote is elegant in its simplicity. Decide once. Set your standard. Choose your commitment. And then remove the option to revisit it. Not rigidity. Strategy. Epictetus said, "No one is free who is not master of themselves." Indecision is a subtle form of self-abandonment. It places your power in the hands of your next mood, your next distraction, your next moment of doubt. But a decision made in clarity before the chaos arrives becomes a kind of armor. You no longer react. You respond. From a place you chose in advance. From a version of yourself that was thinking clearly when the pressure was low. Commit to that version. Trust it. Let it speak for you even when you are tired. The minimum, that means everything. On the days when everything resists you, and they will come, do not ask for perfection. Ask only for presence. One page instead of a chapter. One breath instead of a meditation. One step instead of a mile. This is not failure dressed in consolation. This is the most important practice in the entire architecture of confidence. Showing up when showing up is the hardest thing you can do. Because the mind is always watching. Not to judge, but to learn. Every time you honor even the smallest version of your commitment, the mind files it away as evidence. I showed up. Even then. Even there. Even when I didn't want to. Over time, this evidence accumulates into something no one can take from you. An unshakable knowing that you are someone who keeps going. The celebration no one sees. Acknowledge your progress. Not for the world. For yourself. The email sent. The conversation had. The morning begun, deliberately, instead of surrendered to distraction. These are not small things. They are the actual substance of a life built with intention. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Recognizing what you have done, naming it, marking it, honoring it, is an act of consciousness. It tells the deeper mind, this matters. This is who we are now. This is what we do. And the deeper mind begins to believe it. Confidence is not born in triumph. It is born in the quiet repetition of small acknowledged victories, stacked one upon the other, unseen by anyone but the one building them. Resistance as teacher. Here is the thing about discomfort that changes everything once you understand it. It is always pointing somewhere. Fear before a difficult conversation is pointing towards something that matters. Resistance before creative work is pointing towards something real. Avoidance of a necessary truth is pointing toward a wound that is ready finally to be addressed. Resistance is not a wall. It is a compass. The Stoics did not seek a painless life. They sought a life where pain was met with discernment. Is this discomfort the kind that shrinks me? Or the kind that expands me? Most of the time, when we sit quietly with that question, the answer is already known. MarcusAurelius wrote that challenges are not punishments. They are instruments of refinement. Act despite the resistance, not recklessly, but deliberately, knowing that each step taken in the presence of fear teaches the mind that fear is survivable. And what is survivable eventually becomes familiar. And what is familiar loses its power to stop you. The circle that holds you. Discipline practiced entirely alone has a ceiling. Not because solitude is insufficient, but because the mind, unobserved, is a master of gentle self-deception. It softens standards quietly. It justifies, inch by inch. It mistakes familiarity for progress. This is why the Stoics wrote letters, sought teachers, built communities of practice. Not to perform, to be seen accurately. Choose carefully who witnesses your becoming. Not those who celebrate everything they offer comfort, not clarity. Not those who diminish everything they offer critique without wisdom. but those rare few who hold your highest standard even when you have temporarily forgotten it. Who ask the harder question? Who notice the drift before you do? Who remind you not with judgment, but with quiet expectation of what you said you were building? In that circle, even small progress compounds. A single acknowledged step in the presence of someone who understands carries more weight than 100 solitary achievements left uncelebrated. What you are building. Confidence is not a feeling. It is a system, built in the imperfect moments, reinforced in the smallest choices, refined in honest reflection, protected by decisive commitment, sustained by the people who see you clearly. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And bravery, as the Stoics understood it, is not the absence of fear. It is the daily, quiet, unglamorous act of moving forward anyway. In imperfect conditions, with an imperfect mind, building an imperfect life that is, nonetheless, entirely and deliberately yours. This is dangerous calm. This is the confidence that does not announce itself. This is what you are building, one deliberate, unseen, irreplaceable choice at a time. Begin.